Hello, hello. Okay, I'm here. I've made it. I've spent a lot of time trying to make sure I don't have an echo, so hopefully I don't have an echo. But we will see. Okay, this is working. Yep, this is working. Okay, okay. All right, we made it here. But hopefully things are working. Hopefully, Mercury and the universe are cooperating. Hi, Tarot Gothis. Thanks for being here. Uh-oh. You hear an echo? Hmm. Let's see. How about now? Is this better or worse? We're going to be like at the eye doctor. Better or worse? No, I don't know what button I'm pushing or why. I'm just trying to see if I can figure it out. Oh, man. Sounds like I'm in a cave. Oh, this is better? But is there still an echo? Better? Better or worse? Better or worse? Okay, great. All right. Woohoo! Thanks. Push the right button at the right moment, I guess. I've been trying for way too long to go live, but I was so worried about the echo that I just kept messing around with it and then spent way too much time trying to figure it out. And look, it worked out just with one button push once I got here. So next time I know, just go live and then figure it out. Happy Saturday. Made it here. Okay, before I forget, I need to write down our number or vibration from last week, which was 459. Because I know we need to talk about that today. And then um I know the Koalaholics. Koala T Reacts are gonna want to talk about Koala reached 39,000, but when he posted it, it was 39,027. So we'll look at that vibration and then try to think. Try to think, try to think, try to think. Um, what else do we have? Oh yeah. I want to talk about the casino. Well, let me not do that because that's an actual song. It's the album too, though. But we want to do Baby Keem use of samples. And then we want to talk about also this whole thing is like slanted so bad. Oh well. I guess this is just letting us know how today's gonna go. It's gonna be a little bit slanted. I think that's usual though. We want to talk about T.I. and Harris children versus 50 Cent. Okay, I had to get all that out of my brain so I didn't forget. But if there's anything else, we can certainly put it on the list. But I don't know how long I'll be here today. we'll see. Because yesterday, the universe just decided we were just done. And it's kind of interesting because I don't know if you've looked, but I went back and looked because I was needing to hear what you all were hearing, like with that echo. And so I went back and I looked at the recording from yesterday's live, and it stopped exactly at 54 minutes and, or no, yeah, 54 minutes and 34 seconds. So that was interesting. So I'm just gonna put that here, but we'll hang out and wait a little bit. Um, so let's see, 54, 34, and we'll talk about that. Um, but we'll just hang out for a bit. We'll let some other people be able to come in, see if they have anything to add to the list. See if they hear an echo. Oh man, what do you do if like some people hear an echo and some people don't? Because that's what happened yesterday. I don't know. I think it was just the universe letting me know through Mercury retrograde that I just needed to not. just just no. That was the answer. Just no. A universal no. So I'm glad I made it back here today. And at least I have one person that doesn't hear an echo, so I think we're good. Yeah. Okay. Well, thank you, Tarot Gothis. It's a fact. It is their fault. Done and done. Oh, funny. Oh my goodness. All right, let me go back to this list though. But we will talk about this number too. But I don't think we need to put it on the list. So this is our list for today. Um let me see if there's anything else. I'm just looking at, I have notes multiple places. So I'm going to need to look at my notes and see if there's anything else that we need to talk about today. I'm sure other people will know. Um, no, nope. I think that's all I got. Okay, cool. That's all I got. So we're good. Um, while we wait, I will show you, where is that thing that I was looking at? You know that thing I was looking at earlier. Ah, here it is. So when we ended yesterday, very abruptly, I might add, we were talking about this progression of astrological events that was happening that was kind of making the energy feel very much up and down. So we already know that life in general feels very much like a roller coaster, like very much up and down. And that's just standard. But the way that this energy is moving, it's making it even more so. And so what we have here is typically what we see is that the energy works in 9 cycles. So it's a cycle of 9 of going through the vibrations of 1 through 9 and building up the energy. And then each one of an astrological event is just it almost has its own set of 9 cycle energy. So like we have these 3 astrological events. We had on February 17th, it was the new moon solar eclipse. And so typically we would see, oh, for the new moon solar eclipse, it built up an energy. It had a peak of when it had its full energy. And like this peak would be the date that we give. We always give the date of where that peak is. And then it would come back down. And then February 20th is when we had this Saturn-Neptune conjunction. And again, typically would see like a building up of energy. This one is a little bit different in that it's a longer lasting event. And so typically what we would see is we would see it go up very slowly and then peak and then come down very slowly. So this energy lasts for a longer period of time, but we still report the peak of this energy on the 20th. And then on the 3rd is when we have this full moon lunar eclipse, which everybody in the United States will be able to see. You'll be able to see the eclipse. The East Coast, I think the sun will come up right as we're getting to like the full coverage of the moon. And so the sun coming up will kind of mask the rest of the eclipse, but you'll be able to see all of it, and everybody throughout will be able to see all of it. And it also typically would have like this peak of energy that comes up and then goes back down, and this peak would be the date for which we report. But we're not necessarily seeing this right now. What we're seeing is that there's so much new energy, so like 10 energy that's coming in, that, let me push this up. So that's typically what we would see. But what we're actually seeing is we have our regular 9 cycle. So 9 cycle just goes like this: 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. So we have our regular 9 cycle that is working to build up the energy in its typical way, and then this spirals up as the energy is building. But what we're seeing is that because of there's so much new energy coming in, because where do I put this? Where do I put it? I'll put it here. Let me see if you can see this. 2026, which is a 10-1. Oh, hi, Josh. Thanks for being here. It's good to see ya. Welcome in. Oh, you can't see that. Let me push it down a little bit. Okay, so we have a regular 9 cycle that goes around and is building up the energy, and is how the energy gets built up and used. And this is typically what we see, that the building up of energy and then the dissipation of energy for each of these events. So this is typically what we see, where we have each of these astrological events has its own like build up, its peak, and then its dissipation. And we have events that are quick to get to a peak because they last in a shorter amount of time. So like these solar eclipses, this is like 1 day, maybe 2 days at the most. But then we have like these longer events like Saturn-Neptune Conjunction that's stretched out over time. And so it takes longer to get to that peak point. and then it takes longer for that energy to dissipate. All of these are acting within the same way that this 9 cycle, that's how we're getting those peaks, is this typical 9 cycle. Oh, I keep putting it up too high. But what we're seeing is we have a lot of new energy coming in because this one for 2026 is just new energy. This is like all the energy that we had from 2025, where it was cycles were ended, energy was cleaned and cleared, and then shifted into 2026. So now this is brand new, spanking clean energy, and it's getting inputted here. And so this is automatically getting put into these 9 cycles. So it's amping up and making these astrological events already have more energy. But then also, because we have so many of these astrological events that are kind of happening very close together, and we have other objects and stuff in our solar system, so like 3-eye Atlas, and we have comets, we have all kinds of stuff that's happening. It's like the energy can never dissipate. And so we also have like these other astrological events that are impacting this 9 cycle also. And so what's happening is, instead of each one of these astrological events having its own like energy curve and peak, and they sometimes do like cross over a little bit, we're having a massive amount of like energy combining with each other. And so instead of it being these 3 peaks, we're seeing that, like, okay, the energy is just going up, going up, going up. When we get to this astrological event, now it's peaking really high, really fast. And actually, it's not, do this over, because it's coming here, it's peaking really fast, and then it's not dissipating, because then this next like astrological event is grabbing onto it and bringing it to its peak, and it's not really dissipating. And then we get to the next one, and so it's more moving like this, and throughout this we still have this one energy that's being put in here. And actually, this should probably go on this other side, because this is kind of, no, this is kind of what's keeping this up, like not allowing it to dissipate. So this is what I was trying to talk about yesterday before I was so rudely interrupted. But this is what we're seeing. So we're not seeing like because typically this energy feels more like a roller coaster. Like we say, life feels like a roller coaster, and it's very like up and down, up and down. But this is really staying kind of up and going up even more. I think a big reason why this is happening, because everything happens for a reason, and none of it is like truly coincidence. But I think why this is happening is because the earth herself is needing to raise in vibration, is needing to ascend and take in more energy and raise vibration, so that it can operate at a different dimension, a different timeline, however you want to describe it. But the whole earth and everybody on it is needing to have this extra energy and have this vibration raised. And so because of that, it's like these events are happening to get us to a new normal. So instead of like continuously coming back down to like, here's the normal, like this is our norm, normal energy. And then each time there's an event, it peaks from the normal and comes back. I think what's happening is we're needing to get to like a new normal vibration. And I don't know what that is. Um, but this is what I've been seeing. And I wanted to bring it to your attention. When I record finally, because I've been trying to record and it just hasn't been happening. When I'm finally able to record the March, hopefully tomorrow, maybe later today. I don't know. Probably not today. I'm tired from trying to get rid of the echo. But probably maybe tomorrow. I'll record the March. I'll make sure to include this in March because what is happening is what we're going to see is that as we're going through these astrological events, when we start getting to March and April, we're already at a higher level of energy and vibration. And so some of these big astrological events that are happening in later months are going to feel even bigger. One of which in April is Uranus or Uranus, if you like a little giggle. I know you all like your little giggles. Um, is moving into Gemini. And I'll talk about it more once we get closer to it. But every time Uranus has been in Gemini, the United States has been part of some kind of war. We did have Uranus kind of dip its toe into Gemini, I think like last July. And so you can go back and look there to see what was war like. I think more than the US was, that's part of when we were in kind of like these technological wars. Um, but it still could be actual physical wars. So just something to be prepared for. Don't like freak out about it, but it's just to know that this energy is in the air and it's very much influencing. Okay, that's all I have from like yesterday. You all have any questions? I wanted to make sure to get that all out since we got rudely interrupted yesterday. Hi, Tip Tip. It's good to see you. Thanks for being here. Okay, if you have questions, I'll come back to this. But I want to show you the list that I started putting together. More because I didn't want to forget anything. But also just to get us started. So you can look at this list also and see if there's anything you'd like to add to our list for the day. Oh my goodness. Okay. Like abnormally good? I think that's the thing that we I know at least for myself that I need to switch in my brain. Um and you know that we've been programmed this way just from school in general that anything that is seen as abnormal or away from the normal or shifts from the normal is considered a negative thing. But this actually really feels like it could be super positive. Like it feels like it's blessings. Um, we just have to see it that way and be able to use that energy this way. So that is great. Yeah. Let's We all should get excited about this energy because it is like shifting out of these old vibrations and these old norms. It's like shedding the skin of the old energy. It is very exciting. Yes, it can be a little nerve-wracking, but it's also exciting. Okay, so let's talk first about um oh yeah. Yeah. Yeah, Josh, I see that. I can see that. But the thing is I I have to remind myself, and I'll keep reminding you all also, that when we are witnessing, because we have to remember that what we are being shown has been chosen to show us. And typically, we are only being shown the bad, negative stuff. And yes, there's a lot of horrible, bad stuff that is happening right now. But there's always the other side. Like they don't happen in a vacuum. Because all vibration is neutral. And so even if we can't see it, that positive end of those vibrations is there. We just need to tap into them. Now, that doesn't mean not to be aware of or to ignore the negative things that are happening, because we do need to be aware so that we can make intentional moves to keep ourselves and our loved ones safe, but also to have a voice and make sure we are prepared to fight for what we believe in. But you can, two things can be true. You can tap into positive energy and be using that positive energy to help add to the ending of division, to help move your life into a space where you want it to be, while also witnessing and observing the negative things that are happening and also fighting against it. But I have to remind myself of that, and remind myself that somebody else that wants to control my actions is who is choosing to show me what I'm seeing. So all of our algorithms um, are not just based on what we like. They also are based on what the powers that be want us to see so they can keep us in a state of control. I won't start deep diving into conspiracy theories, but it's something to remind yourself of. I have to remind myself of that constantly. Yeah, everybody is way too busy. But again, that's by design. That's not for any reason. And so that's part of our awareness, making sure that we are aware of why we feel the way we feel and what's coming through. Oh, yeah. I wanted to talk about this too. Okay. So when we got cut off yesterday, um, because, Mercury retrograde and the universe decided, you don't need cell service. No, you don't need Wi Fi. Oh, hi, Alex. Thanks for being here. It's good to see you. The video ended exactly at 54:34, which is really interesting because we were talking about actually Alex's numbers earlier with the 44. So this is like about the stability. So it's looking at and recognizing the stability or the foundation, and then by doing that, you get to growth or change. Oh, hi, everybody. Hi, on deck. Hi, Bridget. It's good to see you. Thanks for being here. Welcome in. Yeah, there's some finagling going on, but also it's what I was telling you about. I don't know when I was telling you about it because I just be talking, but where the sun has been extremely active, especially for like the last month and a half. And when the sun is active and in sending in solar flares, so there's solar flares and there's more solar energy that's coming into the earth's space. It's like rubbing a balloon on your hair and electric charging, or like rubbing your feet on the carpet so then you can zap somebody. It's like getting a electric charge. Oh, cousin B's. Oh, Twitch froze today. Yeah, that's that's Mercury retrograde, but it's also because it's supercharged right now. We've gotten in the last just week and a half, we've been hit with some pretty big solar flares. So, I'm not surprised. I'm not surprised. We just have to be aware and prepared. Yeah, I just went and read a book. Actually, no. I did. I started to read a book and then I fell asleep. And then I got up and I was like, oh, it's working. Okay, great. Okay. So, I wanted to show you this because I just thought it was so interesting. That if we then take 54 plus 34, we get 88. And we keep having these discussions about how we need to move away from 88. And 88 is a sign of the 16 tower, that the tower is about to fall. So our stream ended, or our live ended yesterday exactly on 54:34, which was a signal of the tower is about to fall. So I guess we just have to be prepared. Okay, I gotta go back and look at our list again. Well, now that there's more of you here, see if this list looks good for today. Yeah, yeah, the tower needs to fall so that we can get to that new beginning. But we're getting all of these signs and signals that we need to be prepared for this fall. And we need to really make sure that we are outside of the tower. And we're outside of the tower watching it fall and not still in the tower. Okay, let me know if there's anything you want to add to this list. And while you're typing that up, I will talk about 459. Oh, let me see. Oh. Oh yeah. Yeah. So, yeah, I actually just talked about it a little bit. Um where and I'll have more in my March video that I'm going to put together tomorrow. But this is what I was talking about. This is like what we ended with yesterday, where what's happening is typically we have these events that just have their own way of peaking energy, and that also includes when we have those portal days. Yeah, so you could go to the front part of this live and you'll see more there about like what I was talking about here. And then when I put that March video out, I'll have more in there also. Yeah. And actually, I've been getting a lot of messages about the 3rd, the 6th, and the 9th of every month. So every single month this year, we need to be aware of what's happening in the energy on the 3rd, the 6th, and the 9th. But especially in those months, that's a portal day. So like March is the third month, so that 3-3 portal. But then also in June where we would have that 6-6 portal. And then again when we are in September where we would have the 9-9 portal. So, yeah, we'll keep talking about that more. So keep bringing it up, Bridget, and we'll talk more and more about it. And after I make that video, if you have any more questions about that 3-3 portal or you want to discuss it more, just let me know and we will. Okay. So let's talk about our last week's vibration. So anybody that wasn't here or didn't hear, we always pick, or we don't pick them. What am I talking about? I almost told a lie. We spin our wheel and we get a random number that then we use to look throughout the week for this vibration. And when we are looking for this vibration, we could see it as the number. We could also see it as a time sometimes. Like this one we could see as a time. Or you could see it as the themes of this number. And so our last week's vibration was 459. So we would look for themes. Feels more like it would be around this 18, which is actually the energy of the moon, and of cycles that are leading to new things, new behaviors, new energy, new ways of thinking, or gaining new information. And with this new information, it brings an ending or a shift to the energy. So those would be the themes. So you can think about what was happening last week, and if you saw any of these themes or you saw this number or this vibration. We just do this every single week so that we can start getting used to paying attention to the messages, the hints, the vibrations that are coming into our spaces so that we can be more aware. Because with awareness, then we are able to be more intentional in the use of energy and also what energy we're putting out into the world and how we're impacted by energy that's out there. We can't no longer just not be aware, because we're getting so much energy increase right now that we really need to be aware of these vibrations and this energy so that we can use it for us, so we can use it for our good and creating the life we want to create. So that was 459. We will get a new random number vibration at the end. Is there anything else? I'm going to get some water, but is there anything else to add to this list? You know how it goes. We usually get into a discussion and we add stuff as we go. But if there's any like big topics you want to add to our hip hop conversation today, let me know. Ooh-wee. Okay. All right, I'll wait a little bit longer, see if anybody's typing. And then we'll start with, let's go ahead and just jump right into quality reacts. I know that myself and many of you, probably most of you, if not all of you, are koalaholics and come from that koality family and space. And so we had a celebration this week of reaching 39,000. But I thought it was really interesting. The actual post that Koala posted had, well, here, let me write this out. So koala, oh no, that's not spelled right at all. My spelling is so horrible. There we go. Much better. So quality reacts. Ooh, that's very scribbly. But when he posted that he had reached 39K, he actually put, it actually said 39,027. And so I wanted to look at this vibration. Let me actually take that out. So the first thing is, we've talked about it before, but whenever we have a 0 here, the 0 is the energy of God, the universe, a higher power. The 0 is the only vibration that we do not have control over. And so when we see this vibration of 0, it actually is doing two things. Anything that is going to the right of the 0 is being diminished or quieted or dampened. So I don't know which word do we want to use. I like dampened because I like dampened because I like to think of this as these vibrations as sound, because that's a really easy way to think about them. And so anything that's over to the right of this 0 is dampened. It's quieted. It's not as loud. And then anything that, oh yeah, that's a good one too. Muted. Yeah, even better. Like that word, even better. And then anything that is to the left is amplified, made louder. It's enhanced, amplified, enhanced. Ugh. I should have done that in a different color. Oh well. Oh yeah, I forgot. Yeah, I'm gonna come to you for words. I know you're kidding, but you think I'm kidding? I'm not kidding. I do numbers. I can do everything numbers. But when it comes to words and like spelling, So anything that is happening on the right side of the 0 is getting muted or dampened. Anything that's happening on the left side of the 0 is getting amplified or enhanced. And so what this number, this vibration, is telling us is we have this story where we have an action that needed to be taken. And I'm sure you all kind of know what this is. There's an action that needed to be taken. That's this 7. And this action led to having less problems or ending like division. So it ended having some kind of problem that was displayed as like a division or like a cutting off, and was causing there to be an ending, like something not good happening. And so what this happening is, this 0 is telling us, so God, universe, higher power is telling us Don't worry about what action needed to be taken to end this division or to solve this problem. That's not what's important. What is important is over here on this left side. So it's important that we've reached the 39, but it's more important that we've actually gotten an end to that problem, because with the end of that problem, it'll support growth, because this 3 means growth. So that's the story that this vibration is telling. And it's very interesting to be able to see that the universe is just telling us, look, don't worry about what had to end. It needed to end. What was important was that it ended so that growth can happen. And then if we also, because with that 0 there in the middle, it can act kind of like a spacer. So if we take 39 plus 27, because those vibrations are acting separately because you have that 0 there in the middle, this adds up to 66. 66 is the numerical vibration of the word family, of the word freedom, of the word happy, but also 66 is the vibration of quality and reacts. Oh, I love when that happens. Look at the universe. I just love when that happens. So this story that's being told, like this vibrational story of like, don't worry about what happened, what action needed to take for it to end and to get to that end. Don't worry about that. Just know that that end is what was needed for that growth. And then gave us confirmation that this story was for us and was for quality reacts, because these add up to that 66. I love it. I love it. I just wanted to make sure to share that with you. Exactly. Exactly. Don't look back. Don't look back. Don't worry. And when I first saw this, the first thing I thought about was him needing to change. So Koala needing to change his intro music, or really all of his music. And so that was the action that needed to be taken in order to not have these issues that kept coming up with YouTube. And then, so don't worry about that had to be done. Know that because that was done, it'll bring an end to those divisions, to those problems. And so then that the channel and the group and everything that we're doing together will be able to grow. I love it. I love it. I love it. And then you get confirmation. Confirmation with all of the 66. Love it. Okay. So I wanted to make sure to share that. Yes, exactly, Alex. Exactly. Okay, so that takes care of this. All right. So let's see. Of these 2 things we have left, which do we want to talk about first? I'm gonna get some water. We'll see. We'll see if we can decide. Well, universe decides ultimately. But we'll see. Okay. Mm, Give me some more. Add some more to your question, Alex. Because do you mean the number three, like the vibration three, or the number three that we have here? Because that could go so many different directions. I could give you so many different answers. Okay. Yeah. So let's start with there. Let's go. Let's go with number 3 and we'll look at these samples. So, um we all have been diving into Baby Keem's Casino album, and it's like it's wonderful. Like amazing masterpiece. And you know it's a masterpiece whenever you listen to it over and over again. You can listen to it over and over again, and every time you do, you get something new. And you pick up something new. So one of the things that I was noticing, um, so the way that I hear music, because I see and experience everything as vibrations. Yes, it is like I'm living in the movie The Matrix. I see everything in numbers. Um, what I hear, what I see, everything is numbers. But because of that, I can pull apart the different pieces. And so what I noticed with the samples, in the Baby Keem Casino songs, there, I think the two that we'll look at No Security, and we'll look at Birds and the Bees. But what I noticed is that they were more highly connected than I've seen other samples before. Oh, hi, TFN. Perfect timing. Thanks for being here. It's good to see you. So, let me put some notes on here so I can like help keep myself on track. So, we're talking about Baby Keem's use of samples. And I have seen this way that he uses samples in some of Kendrick Lamar's songs also, but it's very much more strong here. All right. So we're going to look at No Security, and we're going to look at Birds and the Bees. Okay, so typically what I see when I'm looking at a song is I see where we have the vibration of like the artist. So the contributions of the artist have their vibrations, and then you have like the vibrations of like the track just in general. And I'm simplifying this because there's a lot of vibrations that go in there. Yes, Alex, exactly. Exactly. Yeah, isn't that interesting? And I think it's interesting that Casino was supposed to have 12 tracks like G and X, but one track was dropped at the last minute. And then you have like the vibrations of the sample that is used. And typically what you would see is these vibrations they have some links like this. Like there's some weaving between them that like connects them to each other. That's what makes it a good vibration in the song. That's why you can feel like, oh right, yeah, this is a good track. The artist is vibration, and the lyrics that are being added are contributing. This is typically what I see. So this is typical. We'll put typical. Typical. But what I'm seeing for the use of samples in this Casino album is more like this. Let's move up, get some space. So you have the artist, and you have the track still. Now these are closer together because it's like when you have intention, it like what your intention is for what your track is with the particular artist, you can see that because then they're closer together, and so they're more tightly wound like this. So we still have this part like we see typically, but the artist and the track are more tightly wound. But what I'm seeing and experiencing for the sample is that the sample is behaving like a weaving between the artist and the track. Typically, we see that a sample is used either for the lyrics to connect to the artist, or it's used to connect to the track. But here it's being used for both. It's very intentional. So we have to pay attention to not just the instrumentation and how that's being used, but also how the words that are selected, like what part of the lyrics are being included from that sample. So we do see this like with Luther, where you see where that sample is a big part of the track, and it's also a big part of the lyrics, but the lyrics aren't changed, if that makes sense. Like they're not it's not like there's a second meaning to the lyrics being given. Well, there is some being given in from the sample, if that makes sense. So what I'm seeing is that in these samples, there's a storyline that's happening in the sample, and there's a storyline that's happening in the actual song, and it's weaving, the whole story is being woven together. So it's being used in a very particular way. So let's just jump into one of these so I can hopefully better explain what it is that I'm seeing. It looks very different vibrationally. So let's look at No Security. So we look at No Security. Typically what I do is I always start with the title and use our little code where we have A equals 1 all the way to Z equals 26. using the English alphabet. And when we do that, no security adds up to 149. And then that goes to 14.5. And so already, just in the name alone, we're getting this 14, which we've talked about before, but this is a mix of energies or vibrations. So this is like, it operates kind of like uh vinegar and oil. You need them both for a really good salad dressing, but you don't mix. You have to force them to mix. You need them both, but you have to force them to mix. And then the way that they mix is what brings about the change. What we have is all right. If we just think about what this song is talking about, just in Baby Keem's lyrics, first off, it's really a discussion of his early life and how he did not have that sense of security. I will remind everybody, if you haven't seen, security is 120, which is the same as Kendrick Lamar, like his name. But there's no security there. There's a feeling of no security. And there's a lot of this storytelling around his mom and his mom not being there, other people being there, but not really having the security of him going into foster care, his mom and his grandmother fighting over him. There, all of that is in this storytelling of no security. The sample that is part of this song oh no, sorry, stuff's going crazy. The sample that's part of this song is actually called um You Can Have Me, and it's by Natalie Bergman. I'm not gonna write her whole name out because I'll probably do it a disservice. And when we do the vibrations here, we get 133, which gives us a 7. And so what we are having here is, and in this sample, this song is like the parts that are pulled out are all I want is you. I just want the truth. All I want is you. And so now we have this back and forth between Baby Keem as a child talking about his mother and having security, with the samples saying, the song is You Can Have Me, but it's actually from the perspective of somebody saying, all I want is you. I just want the truth. All I want is you. And so now those lyrics become a very important part of the vibrational story that's being told. Okay, so I'm gonna pause for a minute and look and see what's happening in the chat. See if you Let's see if you need anything from me. Mm-mm-mm-mm. Oh, that's cool. That's cool, Alex. I didn't know that about the recipe for success. Yeah, I like Sensitive Savage. A lot of koalaholics comment and are in Sensitive Savage's space. So this is just one place where we're seeing the blending of the sample with the actual lyric. It's like the sample lyrics are actually part of the lyrics, not just part of the track. It's like both are important. And so then what that means is that when we look at the vibrational story, we can't look at them separate. So where we would look at no security and only look at like, oh, here's this mixing of energies and how we get to this point of change because of the mixing of energies, and that's the story that's being told. We now have to include these vibrations from You Can Have Me as part of this story as well. So the first thing is 133 is actually the numeric vibration of the word community. And so now, here where we have this vibration of this weird mix of energies, we kind of have it again because in a community space, you have connections and similarities, but you also have differences, and some things mix and some things don't. Let's now, if we take these two and we add them together, so let me get my handy dandy calculator. So 149 plus 133 gives us 282. And we've talked about before how this whole album is creating these portals. And it actually started with the documentary where these portals have been created to amplify the vibrations that are being talked about. And so here we have this again where we have, okay, LT, good luck with baby duty. We'll probably be here when you get back. But we have this portal being created where whenever we have two vibrations that are the same on either side, they want to come together. And so then it creates this movement that is creating a portal, and it's pushing through the energy that's here in the middle. It's amplifying this vibration. And so here, the amplified vibration, oh my gosh, why can't I pick a color? The amplified vibration is 8. 8 is all about energy that is infinitely cycling. It's what we would classify as like reap what you sow, as karma. But in this case, this 8 energy also is that vibration of like generational curses. Because it's a cycle that just keeps coming back around, keeps coming back around through time and through the people that are part of the family. And so, because we have this sample connecting with the song itself in this particular way, it is amplifying this vibration of 8. It's amplifying this feeling and this thinking around these generational curses that are being described. So now it's vibrationally connecting and hitting us more. We also see that having this amplified actually helps us get to this 12, which is a change in perspective. So let me move this over a bit. Oh, that's too much. There we go. So 12 is change in perspective. So you see things a different way. Or you see things more clearly because you've had a change in perspective. Also, with this change in perspective, this is also where you now can connect your own energy, your own vibration, your own experiences more tightly to these. So then this is where you, not just with the lyrics that are being said, but also with the vibration of what you're feeling, are getting an amplified connection to the song. And then that connection, that's the growth that we're seeing here. And so it's interesting, like Alex said, that we've seen this technique used before, but there's something different about these songs, and it's just from what I'm seeing. It's just from what I'm seeing in the vibrations. And this starts, yes, Josh, this starts the whole album. And in actuality, we started seeing these portals being created in the documentary as the lead up to the album. Because remember, we saw, even just looking at where we had the documentary, even just that itself, where we had Boo Man 1, 2, and 3, and then that led to Casino. And Boo Man is 60, so this is 61, 62, 63, but then Casino itself is 61. So even just how the rollout was even a big, huge portal. And with lots of things being emphasized and amplified. So very big amplified vibrations, which just hit different. And then as we go in deeper, we see that there's more and more of these portals being made. I think this is like the purpose of this, whether, I don't know if anybody's aware of it, but it's definitely from the universe, that it is coming back to that teleportation, that idea of teleportation. So trying to take you to a different place. And anybody that missed it, I talked at the very beginning about how what we're seeing with these different astrological events, it's like raising the whole vibration of the earth. And so it's almost like we are needing to be transported from like an old timeline to like a new timeline. And what's happening is we have all of these different ways where teleportation is happening to help us get there. So it's not just in this album, but it's like we're encountering a lot of these different portals all over the place, because teleportation is when you have a bunch of smaller really small, like micro portals. It's not like Stargate or any of those where it's just like a big portal thing. It could look like it, but what it actually is doing is it's all these smaller portals that are opening and closing in a real synchronistic way to move from one spot to another. And so it's really interesting to see all of these portals. Like I've been seeing for like a probably the at least the last 2 months for sure. A lot of these portals popping up all over the place. Just these small ones. But it's the combination of all that small ones that's moving all this energy from one space to another and keeping us amplified. And these songs are contributing to that. Let me get back here. Okay. So that was no security. And I thought, "Oh, that's interesting." Because when I was really paying attention to no security and the vibrations that were in it, I was like, "Oh, that's interesting. That's why it feels this way. That's why it feels amplified in this way." Um, but then when the Birds and the Bees um, music video came out, I started seeing it again. And I was like, "Oh, this is a similar pattern to what I saw at No Security." And so I looked at those vibrations a little bit more, and we can look at that now also. So the other example, and I didn't go into any of the other songs. These are the two that I'm pulling out for example, but we could be seeing this or something similar to this happening in other songs. So now hopefully this just gives you a little clue as to what's happening, and we can go look at some other ones. Um, yes, 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 exactly. Exactly, Alex. Yes. Yes. Isn't that cool? I love it. I love it. Being able to see, because then it's not coincidence, it's not synchronicity. When you can actually see those intentional connections, that's an intentional use of energy and vibration, which is very cool. All right, so let's look at birds and the bees. Oh my gosh, my nose might start running. Oh, and this is for, I should say this for everybody. When we have all this massive amount of energy coming in, especially because we have on Monday night into Tuesday morning. So the second to the third is when we have that next lunar eclipse. When we have a lot of energy coming in, that's when you can get some of these head cold symptoms. The way to get rid of it is to move the energy. So do breathing techniques or just move, like walk, work out, dance. It's just the energy getting stuck there. So you want to move it around. Okay, sorry, that was sidetracked, but I think it was important. All right, so we have for birds and the bees. Again, when we use our little key where we have A equals 1 all the way to Z equals 26. Yeah, those HEPA filters are amazing. They do help. That's funny. I use like a neti pot like every other day just in general. Okay, so when we use our little code, the birds and the bees um gives us the vibration of 135, which then goes to a 9. And we have had so many amazing discussions about this song because of the video and what is actually being talked about here. Like this song, and then the video on top of it already has such a layered story where we already are seeing how um, every single lyric that's being told, every single part of the story is very layered. And so we're already seeing how this can have multiple storylines that are running together. So already we have like all of these storylines that are running. Hey, Judy, good to see you. Thanks for being here. I'm glad you could make it. So these are all of the stories. So already we are just seeing with just the lyrics alone and like what we're seeing in the visuals of the music video, we have all of these different storylines that are really running together. We're getting multiple meanings of what we are seeing and experiencing and what these vibrations mean. So we're getting a lot of information about this 135, where this 135 is saying first there is a change and then there's a transformation. And transformation is a change that you cannot come back from. It changes everything. So first there's a change and then there's a transformation. And with that transformation, we get to the end or a shift of energy. And so all of these stories are telling this vibrational story in a different way. So we already have all of these layered stories that are in there. But now all of these stories are getting amplified because we have the sample running through it. And is making these all of these stories enhance. It's adding an enhancement of the stories and it's weaving them together. The sample here is honey, honey, honey. And I think I always forget who the name is. I think it's oh yeah, Fiest. I think that's how you pronounce it. It's Feist. But what is so interesting is that, again, it's the particular part of the sample where the lyrics in the sample are being used to enhance the stories, the vibrational story that's being told. So, honey, honey, when we do our little calculation, honey is 67. And so then this adds up to 134. So an 8. So already you see how close these are, 135 and 134. Like one vibrational unit away from each other. So they already vibrationally are really close. They're really close tied in. And what it looks like is this 135 it's this 13 of transformation that adds up to 4 that's connecting here to the 4 here and is enhancing this transformation here. So you're getting like a double transformation, an enhancement of transformation. Yeah, exactly, isn't it? That the name of the track is Honey Honey. And if you go and you watch, so it's sped up, the sample is sped up very quickly. Um, but if you look at the music video for that song, Honey Honey, it's an older song, but it's all about a couple also. And like the back and forth between like the masculine and the feminine. But the words that are used from that sample are honey, honey, food for the bees. So, honey, honey, food for the bees. And then, honey, honey, not next to me. And so, those lyrics are like actually highly enhancing what stories are being told and how these vibrational stories are weaving together and being told. So very, very interesting. Um, let's see. Let's look at what we get because I didn't do this yet. That's what I was looking at. So I haven't just added these. So if we do 135 plus the 134, because I was already seeing that like this 13 from the 135 is where those connection points were going for the 134. Um, but this will give us, I think I could probably do this one, 269. I think. Yes. Um, but we also, what I'm seeing, we also need to look at it. We need to look at it this way. And we need to look at it this way because that's how we can see where here 54, so these two vibrations of 5 and 4 coming together. 54 is the vibration, the numerical vibration of the word love. So we're getting an enhancement on any of the stories that are related to love. And that could be all kinds of love. And even the opposite of love. Whatever you believe the opposite of love is. Because that could be a number of things. But then we're also getting, we'll just keep this enhancement, this enhanced vibration of 3, because when we have 33 next to, like the threes next to each other, now that's an amplification of this 3 energy. So this feeling of growth, but also that 33 we've talked about, this is the master teacher vibration. So a lot of people associate this with master teachers like Jesus or Buddha or any of these like highly reverenced teachers through history. Also, we also are getting an enhancement of and an amplification of this one energy where now we have this story that we've already seen coming out where we have this 11 where it's like two individual sets of energy. It's like two individual people. Um and this is actually the energy of like duality, and we're needing to bring these energies together to a 2 so we can end division, whether it's a division between two people or it's a division between parts of yourself. You're needing to end the division or the duality. So these two together is highly enhancing the storyline that is being told, the vibrations of that story. We also have here where we have the 26 that is here, which will latch onto and get enhanced by the fact that we are in year 2026. Also, 26 is the numerical vibration of the word God. And this is the gods that like we create ourselves, or like putting on a platform, or like what you value are now being put on this platform. The last thing, I think it's the last thing. Nope, it's not. There's still more coming. But the next thing is if we add this up, so we do 2 plus 6 plus 9, we get to that 17 where we are needing to get to. We keep getting these messages of needing to move from the 16 of the falling tower into the 17 of the star. So here's that vibration again. And this also gets us back to the 8 that keeps coming up. That is that reap what you sow, that karma, those generational curses. That vibration is running deep throughout this album, but this song as well. Okay, this may be the last thing. We'll see. So what I think is the last thing is the fact that honey is 67. 67 is the numerical vibration of the word soul. So with honey, honey here, we have two souls interacting. So again, it's this addition of this vibration. And soul 67 adds up to 13, which again is that enhancement of the vibration of transformation. So we have transformation energy being enhanced here a lot. A lot, a lot. So you see how this weaving is it's tighter. It's like there's this interconnectivity that's much tighter, especially with the sample in the song, but then this creates tighter bonds and weavings even throughout the whole album also. Okay, I'm gonna get some water and catch up in the chat. Catch up in the chat. Catch up in the chat. Not ketchup, but catch up. Did those sound different? I don't know. Okay, let's see. Mm-hmm. Let's see. Let's see. Oh, that's a good point, Josh. I didn't think about that. That Kendrick Lamar was about 25 when he released Good Kid, Mad City, which is the same age as um Baby Keem now. That would be interesting. Oh yeah. We got some work to do. Oh, I love this. This is so much fun. How do I get paid to just do this all day? I guess I'm on the road to that, but this is what I want to do all day. This is so much fun. Oh my gosh, Judy, why were you up so late? Yes, yes. Oh, hi, Taro. I'm glad you're still here, lurking around. Oh, yes. Yep. Yes, Alex. I think that's my point of like when we talk about love, that yeah, love and hate both you have to care. So hate can't really be the opposite of love because the opposite would be not caring at all. Doesn't Taylor Swift have a song about that? I'm sure she does probably have several. Mm. Yes. Yes. Thank you for adding that, LTFM. Yes. Yes. Yeah. You have a choice of love or fear. Love it. Love it. Oh my gosh, you all are so brilliant. I love it. Oh, really, Judy? I didn't know 67 came up before last week. Like, it's come up a lot, especially with all these, young folks using it in a different way. Oh, very cool. Yes, I'm working to get there. I just think it would be so fun to be able to just do this all the time. And what I really want to do, and I'm just going to put it out there into the universe, is I just want to write. I just want to, like, all of this stuff, I want to write down, but I want to write it in a way where it's like guides and workbooks. Um, so it's actually stuff that can be applied. Oh, very nice. Okay. Nice, nice. Okay. All right. You guys are amazing. Oh my gosh. Okay, I love this so much. This is great. Mm. Yes, Alex. I don't know. We get me there. Who knows? I might go live every day if this is all I have to do. I would love it. And you could just lay in your bed and listen. We'll just use all this energy to get us all there. Okay, anything else? Like I think we should continue to do some more digging. This is very interesting. Um I do have I am putting together a little bit of a different take on the birds and the bees um music video. We'll see when I can put that together. But hopefully soon. I love that, Alex. I can use as many hype people as we can have. Oh, do you want to look at Circus Circus? The Circus Circus freestyle? What do you know what the sample is? Let's look at it. Does it have a sample? I have listened to it, but I haven't like dug deep into that one yet. So, give me what you know and I will grab what I have and we'll check it out. I think we did. Did we look at this? Um, I think we looked at this last week, but we can look at it again. No, not yet. We haven't talked about the 911. I think there's so much here. I think every week we can just pick some stuff from this album to just include in our discussion. Okay, yeah, that's what I thought, Alex. Okay. Oh yeah, yeah, yeah. Let's look at it. So first thing is we use our little code book. I'm just telling everybody our code book. I guess that's fine. It's not a secret code. um, circus. Let's do this. All right. I'm gonna not go on the paper. Let's just do this. So circus would be 3 plus 9 plus 18 plus 3 plus 21 plus 19. And so this is 73. So already what we have, just like when we have a double number or a triple number, we have an enhancement of this vibration of 73, where 73 then adds up to 10 and 1, and we already know that 2026 is a 10-1 year. So we have an enhancement here of that 10 vibration. When we add these together, so 73 plus 73, we get 146, which again is this 11-2. So here's another time where we have this 11-2 vibration. So we have this 11-2 vibration coming again, where the 11 is this feeling of division or duality or polarization. And we see it as these different things in different places in our life. But with all of them, the goal is to be able to get to this end space where the 2 is the end to this division. It's the end to duality, and it's the end to polarization. But the way that you get to that end is by recognizing that neither extreme is where we want to be. We can't be at either extreme, even if both extremes are good. So, like, you can't be extremely masculine or extremely feminine. You have to have a mix of the two and be in the middle. And so, what you're supposed to do is look at, if you look at the extremes, what are the parts of each extreme that are important, and you bring those together and you create a new third option, a new pathway in the middle. So now you're getting this new place where now you don't have to have that division or that duality. They both can exist, but in a new space. So it's a little bit different than balance, Judy, because balance is where you have the two extremes and you're balancing between them. This is actually creating a new space that you're not balancing between them. You're not having to choose between them. They just don't exist anymore. It's this, you're only taking the pieces from each that work for you and you're right there in the middle. Because I think that's what we're getting away from, is having to choose between one extreme or the other. It's finding this new place, this new option of where both extremes can exist, but they don't act as extremes. So this story of 11-2 has been a huge universal one that I've actually seen quite a bit since 2020. So very, very loud vibrational story that's happening. Oh, that's a good point, Alex. I forgot that this is actually track 10. Yeah. So there we have even more of this enhancement of that 10 energy. So then if we continue on and we do the breakdown for freestyle and add that up, that one I have, that one equals 115. And so 115 has this 11 in it again. So here we're facing this 11 again, where now this is saying a change needs to happen so that you can actually see the divisions that are being created. You can actually see the duality that's there. Once you make that change and you can see the duality, then you can actually get to taking action. But now this action will be intentional because you've made a change and you recognize what the extremes are that are creating the division, and you are actively working to end that division. Now, 115 is the numerical vibration of the phrase thank you. So it can feel very much like gratitude. Also, it's the numerical vibration of love you. So want you to see this, that thanks is the same as loves. These resonate at the exact same vibration. So that's why showing gratitude can feel similar and can have the same vibrational impact as showing love, because they're actually the same thing. But one thing that's super interesting that I did notice when I was going through these tracks, like this whole album early on, is that 115 comes up. So 115 is also the numerical vibration of the word lyricist. So this vibration of 115, so this freestyle, it's connecting to that middle point in the album of I Am Not a Lyricist, just through this vibrational connection through the words. It also then 115 also is the numerical vibration of dramatic girl. And so this 115 is connecting through this album. It's connecting up to I Am Not a Lyricist, and then it's connecting right below it to Dramatic Girl. So it's continuing this vibrational flow, and it includes that 11 to 2 storyline, that vibrational story. Then if we do the 146 plus the 115, oh my gosh, where am I going to write this? We get, what color should I use? What color should I use? What color should I use? We'll use you. I choose you. What's that from? Pokemon? um, we get 261. Notice anything? Here we have, I love this. I love this so much. We have the 26 again. That gives us that 8 vibration of reap what you sow, karma, and generational curses. But also, 26 is that numerical vibration of God, and it connects back again to 2026 and that discussion of what do you value, what are you making God. And if we go back here, where was it? Where is it? Oh yeah, right here. The other thing is where this is 269, and here, if I can find it, oh yeah, is 261. We have a big time theme that is running through the whole universe of 19, of the end, um coming and being also part of the beginning, or what's new. So we have that here, where the other place we had, it was the ending that was bringing on this evaluation of what you valued and what were these cycles that were continuously being created. But here we have the new energy that's doing the same thing. And when we add this up, we get to the 9 anyway. So see? Same vibrational stories. Same vibrational stories are running very deep through here. And this is also why when there's an album where it feels disjointed, it feels like it doesn't have an overall theme or run together, this is why. Because it does not have this. It doesn't have these vibrational themes connecting it together. Isn't this interesting? I love this so much. Okay, I gotta see what you're saying in chat because you always have good comments. You always like add so much. Yes. Yes. Thank you for sharing that, LT. Because yes, I think everybody has those moments in your life where you lose yourself and you have to find yourself. And we've talked about how we're at a pivotal time within um, the hip hop culture for this shifting narrative around identity. And so we should see even more of this theme of um, finding yourself and building yourself and beginning to build legacy off of a identity that you really um, value and cherish and feel good about. Yeah. Thanks, LT. Oh, okay. Let me see. Um, yeah. Let me see. I can't. The little heart is in the way of your. Oh, underpaid. Yeah. Let's look at it. Yes, I agree that that underpaid is what sticks out there. Yeah. Yeah. It's hard not to hold back during Black History Month, but today's the last day. So Go like ultra black today, and then tomorrow you can blast ultra black or whatever. That's so funny. Okay. So we want to look at the phrase underpaid. Whoa. So let's use our little code book. Yeah, this is a good one. A equals 1 all the way to Z equals 26. And so then the word under is 21 plus 14 plus 4 plus 5 plus 18. So under is 62. And I'll start breaking those down in a minute. Let's look. Paid is paid feels like it wants to be written out. So whenever the vibration feels like it wants to be written out, it's because there's just in the vibrations of the letters themselves are an important part of the story. Oh, that's why. Because P is 16. So there's that 16 of the tower. 1 plus 9 plus 4. And so okay. You all did this. I'm just going to tell you that now. All right. Oh my gosh. Oh my gosh. You all are like too tapped in for me. You be freaking me out. Can't even tell you why I'm freaked out because I'm so freaked out. So then 62 plus 30 gives us 92. 92 is an 11 to 2. But let's start breaking this down. So 62, we have again this vibration of 8, where it's this karmic, reap what you sow, generational curse energy that's coming back around. Also, 62 is the numerical vibration of the word shift. And we know we've been talking about, we've been experiencing this shift within the hip hop space. So this is why this is resonating even higher. Also, because this is an 8 with this word shift, it's really about that the only way you're going to break these cycles, so break this karma or these generational curses, is to shift the energy. Take the energy from that cycle and put it into a new cycle. Do things a different way. Think a different way. And so that's really heavy here in this 62. We also have within this 62 this 2 vibration without the 11. So we have the 2 here, where to be even able to begin this shift in ending these cycles of karma or generational curses, you first have to end the divisions or the duality that exists. And by doing that, then it's allowing you to get to a place of comfort where now you can be, you're really uncomfortable in this cycle of karma or this generational curse. But by ending the division, allowing this shift to happen, now you're getting to a new place of comfort. And that's just the one word under. So let's go to paid. So now for paid, we see right here that we have this vibration of 16, which is that tower, that warning that the tower is going to fall, is right here, ready for us. And 30 is the numerical vibration of the word fear. So we're talking about love or fear. And so we have this warning of the tower is going to fall. Don't be fearful. Instead, so 30 also is the numerical vibration of the word peace. So when we are in a place of fear, we do have the choice of changing our perspective and seeing that vibration of 30 as peace. So we can be peaceful about our decision to get out of the tower before it is falling. So then we are able to get to a place of growth where it is moving in the direction that we want it to move in. So we have these two vibrations working together. We have one that's telling us about these karmic generational curses that we need to shift from by ending division and finding a new place of comfort. And part of that is coming into this storyline of recognizing that the tower is about to fall, and we need to not fear the falling of the tower, but we need to find peace with how we are moving out of that tower space. These two are coming together, and they are telling this story of 92. So we have the two again to end the division, which is part of that shift that we have over here in 62. And we're emphasizing the end of the cycles because that's this 9. But together, 92 is the numerical vibration of the word duality. Duality. So we are getting this big, huge story of how we get out of this duality. How do we get out of this division and make a shift into this new place? So that's the overarching story, and then we have these interwoven stories within here. So this is what's happening in the hip-hop space and hip-hop culture right now, where there's a need to recognize where are the divisions that need to end so that the culture and the community can come together and make this shift. We also know that, let me see if I could grab that image. We also know that hip hop is in a vibrational change space right now. Because it is preparing. Oh, come on. There we go. Where this is our vibrational journey, and hip hop is right here, like at 52, 53. 52 right now. So 52 right now. And hip hop is going to be making this change out of power into wisdom in 2027. So we're gearing up to this huge vibrational shift just in the life of hip hop. So, for anybody that hasn't seen this before, I'll give you a quick recap. So, here is the vibrational core of who you are. This works for everybody, and it works for cultures and countries, any grouping of people. And so in the middle here is the core. That's what you were born with. So when you were born, you have the numeric vibration of your birth date. You have the vibration of the astrology at that moment you were born. You have the vibration of your name, all of the vibrations of the generations that came before you, that's in your DNA, and more and more and more. As you're traveling through life, you are collecting more vibrations to add to this core in the form of experiences. So, your first set of experiences are from birth until the age 27, and they are in this youth phase. And so, as you're traveling around this youth phase, you're collecting vibrations to build your identity. You then, from 27 over here to 54, are in the power square, and you're moving around here, collecting experiences, collecting vibrations that strengthen your identity through like tests and trials, and needing to face yourself. So, being asked, is this who you are? Is this really what you represent? Is part of this power square. This is where hip hop has been since 2000. So, hip hop was 27 in the year 2000. And then in 2027 is when it'll move into wisdom. When you are in wisdom, now it goes from 54 until 81, and now you're collecting vibrations through experience that are sharing your identity, which is legacy. So it's legacy building. So what we're seeing in hip hop is hip hop preparing for this shift into wisdom and to really solidify its legacy. Okay, okay. I got to catch up in the chat. I had to get that all out though. Mm-mm-mm. Yes. Yes, yes, yes. Shifting our work shifts. Oh, that's interesting. That vibrates interesting, especially because you're using that word shift, Josh, to create a portal. That's why it feels like that. Feels interesting. Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. Woo-wee. LT dropping some knowledge today. Preparing us all for wisdom. Love it. Thank you, LT, for sharing. Oh my gosh, yeah. Yes, Alex. Yes, exactly. Mm. Yes, yes, yes. Oh, you all have such amazing energy. I love it. Yeah. Yes, exactly, LT. Yeah, exactly, Alex. That's what this is saying, is that every interaction, every experience you have is contributing to your vibrational identity. It contributes to who you are. Yes. Oh my gosh, yes, LT. Yeah. Yes, exactly. I thought it was me versus the world, but found out it was me versus me. And then that takes us all the way back to all of the theories within birds and the bees. Ah, another one of those storylines. Because that song and that video has so many interwoven storylines. There is so much that can keep coming from that. That's amazing. Amazing. Oh my gosh. Okay. I'm getting tired and hungry. Uh, when I get tired and hungry, like it's weird because I don't get hangry per se, but I do start saying weird stuff. Well, that's funny for me to say because some people would consider all that I say weird. No, I'll start like just speaking numbers and saying weird stuff. So let's see what we have left. Oh, we have T.I. and the Harris children. Yeah. Let me see what I have here. I have a feeling this can come up. We can save this for next week too, because yeah, they're probably gonna put out some more stuff, and we're waiting for Ti's album to come out. Yeah. Let me see. Mm. Oh yeah. I don't want to. I don't want to. Yeah. I don't want to do less than this deserves because this actually has a lot. It's so interesting. Okay. So let's save this for next week because I'm sure we'll have something more to add. Um, I did before we do our spin the wheel. I did want to remind everybody. Let me find it. This is the other reason I'm going to save it for next week because I wanted to make sure to talk about the so again, oh man. Oh man, look at I got stuff everywhere. I sometimes wonder what these whiteboards would look like if I like shrunk it to all fit on. It'd probably look really weird because I'd just be finding any clean space and just writing. So on Tuesday, it's actually Monday night into Tuesday. We have the full moon lunar eclipse in Virgo. Um I wanted to bring this up for a couple of reasons. One, this is a highly energetic day. I will talk about it more in my March video, which hopefully I'll put together either today or tomorrow and get it to you ASAP. Um, but we also this also is a portal day, so it's a very high energetic day. But also anybody that is in the continental US and actually all the US because I think it even includes Alaska and Hawaii are going to be in the zone of full viewing. So all of the United States will be able to see the whole lunar eclipse. This is the lunar eclipse. With the lunar eclipse is where we get the blood moon. Um, and so this is there's gonna be some stuff happening on this day. Expect to feel a lot of energy. Um, see an amplification of full moon energy. So where people go loony, it's usually on the full moon when people act extra crazy. So you might want to stay inside because it's going to be enhanced. It's going to be even more so. The eclipse is this energy of revealing. It's bringing stuff out of the dark into the light. Um, and that's very interesting, and having it be right over the United States, it's like things can be revealed all across the whole country. So this is a highly energetic day. So we want to make sure that you're just aware of it, so then we can use this energy in intentional ways. See, what else? What else? What else? Um, I think the last thing I'll mention is that with this in Virgo, Virgo is the sign that rules our health. So, this is a good day to use this extra energy towards your health goals. So, towards like shifting or planning or beginning your health goals. Okay. Blade mode. Yes. That's hilarious. Yeah. So this is coming up on, it starts I think at like um I think the whole thing starts at like midnight Eastern, but then the peak when it's all the way covered, like when you get the blood moon, is going to be right around when the sunrise starts on the East Coast. So around 6 a.m. is when the peak of this will be. I already found some places to watch it online, so you don't have to go out with the loonies. But you should very much witness this. We are in a time where we are witnessing history in a lot of different ways. So we want to also document and take this in also in this way. We could potentially also see earthquakes, volcanic eruptions, all that kind of stuff could be happening around this time as well. Okay. Oh my gosh, I see so many laughing emojis. There's so much laughing happening in the chat, which I love. Oh yeah, yeah. Josh's comment about being in blade mode definitely deserves all the laughing because that was a good one. Oh, and I think are we watching the Blade 3 this week tomorrow for Marvel Sunday? Oh, that could be good preparation for the lunar eclipse. All right, are we ready to spin our wheel? I gotta go find it. Let me go find our wheel. You get ready to spin the wheel to get our vibration for the week, and I'll go find it. Let me see. Where is it? Where are you, wheel? Oh my gosh, I have so many tabs. I have so many things open. How am I gonna find this wheel? Oh my gosh. Oh my gosh. Oh my gosh. Like, oh my gosh. Can't even look through stuff because everything is like so small because I have so many open. Oh wait, here. I think I found it. Yeah, I found it. Okay. All right. Here we go. Let's spin that wheel. Woohoo! All right. Spinning, and we're spinning, and we're spinning. Woohoo! What are we getting? Okay, okay. Interesting, interesting. Now I gotta find you guys again. I gotta find the whiteboard again. Where is it? Where are you? Hello? Okay, there. I found your tab. I found your tab, but I think in the moment of finding your tab, I forgot what the number is. Let me see. That happens every time. 284. All right. So 284. So this isn't one of the vibrations where we would see it as a time. So you're most likely going to see and experience this vibration all together on license plates, on paperwork, on forms. You could see it on receipts. You could see it in, like I see it in codes all the time. And this adds up to 14. It's another 5. Oh, yeah, Judy already saw it. It's another 5. So, the dominating vibration here is this 14, where it's this mix of energies that we want to look out for the most. So where these energies are there together, where we need them both, but they don't necessarily want to come together. They don't mix naturally. We have to mix them. We have to be intentional in our mixing of them. We also have over here where when we see a number, we write it just like we write our words, where it's from left to right. But when you're reading vibrations, you read them from right to left. And so what we have here is this vibration of stability. When it's here, it's really a challenging of foundations. So there's a challenging of foundations that's happening that is revealing this reap what you sow or karmic energy. And by this being revealed, now we can begin the process of ending the division or duality of the space. And we will probably see this at both a micro level, so in your own lives, individual lives, but also at a macro level, where we're already kind of seeing this, where these foundations of like how to do things, the thinking, the belief systems, the behaviors are being challenged. And with that challenging, it's opening up and revealing. And we just talked about that eclipse revealing things. So we will have some revelations, some revealing of this karma energy, the things coming back around. So what's coming out of the dark and being revealed is this energy coming back around. But it's coming back around specifically to end the division. Because then with an end of division, you no longer have the polarity of the two extremes, but you have those extremes now mixing together in a new way so that we can get to the change that's meant to happen. Wow. So that's a bigger vibrational story that even is held in this week, but we should be able to see signs of it throughout the week. So we want to pay attention to the vibrations that are around us, that are impacting us, and how we're impacting other people's energy, but how we're impacting the vibrations also. Because as we we'll start recognizing that we are able to manifest these different vibrations in order to work with them. So this is exciting. Exciting practice. This was so much fun. I am really loving these lives and what we're doing. And right now in hip hop especially, it's amazing to see. And we can pretty much I can pretty much guarantee you that this is going to be our whole year. So as we're getting excited and we're seeing hip hop come back alive, and we're seeing these old energies that we loved come back around, and having a repeat of these discussions, it's all in preparation of that shift, and we'll be seeing it all year. So this is going to be an exciting hip hop year. Okay, I'm going to go eat and chill out, and I'm sure I'll see you guys around. Well, I'll see you somewhere, probably on Twitch. I'll be on Twitch on Wednesday. And then I'll be back here on Friday and Saturday. I may see, I was trying to think about what my schedule was on Tuesday for stupid work. But I may see if I can come back on Tuesday, even just quickly, to talk about the eclipse energy. We'll see. We'll see. Just keep an eye out for me. All right. Thank you so much for being here. I love you all so very, very much. Thank you for being here and supporting me and going through these adventures together. I really appreciate you. If you didn't hit the like button on your way in, please hit it on your way out. And I will see you all really soon. Have a wonderful rest of your weekend. Bye.